Welcome back. This is Kiv, and we're going to be doing Game 5 of the eXe North American Team League first week. I'm sorry about the delay though. I did have some problems with Twitch TV, which delayed the this VOD. We're going to be having Theedthree. I have no clue how to pronounce your name, so I'm just going to be calling you Three. And over here, the red Zerg in the bottom left corner is going to be LongShot. So it's going to be a ZvZ. I personally like ZvZ a lot. It's an exciting matchup and a lot of things can happen in the early game. And I feel like ZvZ also has a viable late game. Anyway, we see LongShot putting his Overlord right to the far right base here. He wants to scout the base immediately, while Three, on the other hand, wants to go out in the middle of the map, and he's sending out a drone scout as well. So he's gonna scout this base and the base up here almost at the same time. Oh well, that's an exaggeration, but he's gonna be scouting these bases pretty quickly, instead of just Overlord scouting and like, oh, his base wasn't down here and I have to move my Overlord all the way up here. So he's going to get a pretty fast scout. And we do see Three doing a gas first opener. This opens up a lot of possibilities with speed, getting speed really quickly, which makes it easier to move out on the map with Zerglings without being afraid to lose them easily to your opponent's speedlings. On the other hand, LongShot is doing a gasless opener, going quickly into hatch. This is a more defensive style, I feel like. You have to stay in your base and defend more, because if you move out with slow lings versus fast lings, you might end up losing all your lings. It's more of a commitment to move out with slow lings than it is with fast lings. We do see a queen coming out directly from LongShot here. He's made no lings this far, and on the other hand, Three is making 6 lings. This will allow him to put some pressure on the quick hatch here, which he scouted with his drone. He does have Three does have a good Overlord position here. We don't know where LongShot actually put his Overlord. I think it's this one here. That was the initial Overlord. I would prefer him to park it over here somewhere, maybe, to scout for the timing on the NATL. Three, on the other hand, has a really good Overlord here, which will most likely spot any units moving out, like these lings here. If he's paying attention, he can see these 2 slow lings. And with speed almost 2/3 of the way done, he's going to be able to put some pressure on his opponent. LongShot, on the other hand, did opt to go for a spine crawler, which is probably going to move down here, which will make it easier to defend. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of follow-up these guys do. I do feel like Roaches is the go-to unit to follow up with, or maybe Banelings if you like more micro-oriented play. LongShot is going to go ahead and get his Roach Warren and move his Spinecrawler down. I feel like getting the Roach Warren in the main base is... I would prefer to have it here, just to make that additional wall off, which makes it easier to defend with like a Roach Warren and maybe an Evolution Chamber, and then 1 or 2 spines behind that. Then you have a little choke here that you can defend really easily with, and it's harder to do ling run-bys if you do that kind of walling. So we see Three has his speedlings, while LongShot actually just started his speed. This means that right now LongShot will not be able to move out. If he does, that will mean that 3 gets a good opportunity to actually just run by with his lings and into his base. That means that either LongShot can commit to a kind of all-in attack, letting his base take damage while he pushes 3, or he has to turn back. We do see a couple of roaches coming out from LongShot, and I guess these players are droning pretty hard. We see they're pretty equal in drones. We do have Lair on the way for 3, and LongShot is getting run by with a few Zerglings that are easily gonna get cleaned up here. Didn't really get to see that much. Walling off with 2 evolution chambers here now, creating that tiny choke that I talked about before. We see 3 not actually opting to do a wall-in of that kind. He does opt to go 3 spine crawlers here, which is really nice. You really need some spine crawlers if you want to play pretty safe. If you make too many drones and you end up not having these spine crawlers, you're gonna be dead. We do see LongShot starting to utilize his early evolution chambers as well, with +1 attack for ranged. I would like to see him though getting that armor as well. We do see a roach swarm being planted down for 3 in his main base, and Hydra down as well. Again, I would prefer just walling off here with buildings. I do understand that maybe you want to hide some of your tech as well. So maybe block with the Roach Warren and hide the Hydrodon or something like that. In general though, I think that 3 has a much greater map vision than LongShot does. He does have an Overlord here and here, which is really nice. But having those Overlords maybe here and here, and also spotting a 3rd. He's getting an Overseer now though. And we see Roach speed for both players, and LongShot did end up getting that armor, which is really nice and it's going to be super helpful. We see 3 getting his Hydra upgrades and his Roach speed, while producing a mixture of Hydras and Roaches. I feel like Hydra Roach is a lot stronger than just pure Roach. However, Roach Infestor is a really nice combination against the Hydra Roach. If you get really good fungals and get to play very cost effective with your infestors, then it's gonna be really good, and it's gonna put you in a really nice spot to going into the later stages of the game. We see LongShot immediately going for that +2, so this is a really nice upgrade lead he will end up having, being 1-1 against 0-0. That's gonna negate some of the extra DPS the Hydras will put out compared to going only Roach. LongShot is taking a 3rd here. His 3rd did get denied up here with the Zerglings, and this 3rd here is slightly more exposed, but on the same time you can end up defending more easily. Again, I don't really like the Roach only style of play, but he's playing really nicely with his upgrade, so I don't really mind that much. He did place himself very well outside his opponent's base here, so LongShot will have a really good concave if 3 decides to move out here. We end up seeing a little battle here, and 3 is not actually gonna be able to move out, but I feel like LongShot should not actually move in here with the spine crawlers, because they're gonna do so much damage, and he ends up pulling back, which is probably a good move. There are so many Hydras here now that 3 has a better army, and with these spine crawlers, this is ending up, or this is a really ineffective trade for LongShot, even with that upgrade lead. his 2 attack is almost done, and we see 1/1 on the way for 3, which with also an infestation pit. So he's continuing to tech towards infestors, and I feel like if he does bring some additional tech out with LongShot only being on mostly Roach, we see a few Hydras and even Burrow tech coming up. He does not actually have Burrow though, which helps if you want to get the Burrow tech, kinda. We do see another tiny battle here. I don't think LongShot will be able to win this. There are just so many Hydras here. But I think he overcommitted a bit here. Sitting back on 3 bases is really nice, especially when your opponent is just on 2 bases. You should just sit back, build just a few drones, and then make a lot of units. Because even with you don't really need like 30-40 drone lead to win a game. If you have like 10-15 drones extra and you end up producing units from an additional hatchery, that's gonna pay off so well. The 3rd here did get denied though. We see that 3 is up slightly in supply, fighting almost roaches only, which I feel like is a slight mistake. We do see +2 armor, but on the other hand, 3 is actually catching up in the upgrades as well. We do see roaches and lings are really effective against this combination as well, especially if you end up having a better army than your opponent and he has to run away. Because there is no real effective way of running away from Zerglings. But again, LongShot overcommitting just slightly. Even with his upgrade lead, he's ending up on the worst side there. Resources lost favors 3 a bit, about 3,000 resources. It's not the end of the world, but it certainly helps. We do see a LongShot though with the 5 drone lead, which is it's a nice amount of drones to be ahead. But now with 3 getting his 3rd up, and with this kind of pressure that he's putting on LongShot, he's gonna be able to actually just drone up really heavily here without actually risking too much. So he's putting a really good stranglehold on LongShot here, and I feel like LongShot is getting behind, and it's gonna be a real uphill battle from here on out. However, he does have Hive, and he is going for the Ultralisk Den. Ultras are really good, but you have to remember though that Roaches and Hydras can somewhat kite Ultralisks on creep. So Ultralisks need that strong economy and the strong support of other units to be really effective. LongShot hasn't been able to get his 3rd up, and that I feel like Ultras are not going to be that effective just because he's not going to have the economy to fully support Ultralisks either. His main is getting mined out. There's not that much left in his natural, and he really needs that 3rd base. This is really nice, pushing 3 back, but I don't think he should overcommit. When the Zerglings die, I think you should just pull back with your more expensive units, build a few more lings, and add on more units. And when your lings are out and can tank some damage, then you should start chasing again. That will make more effective trades for you, and it will end up working in your favor. The 3 has a really nice tiny, or it's a decent drone lead. He has 16 drones more than LongShot, and that's what you need, you know. You don't need more. He could take a 4th because his main is getting mined out as well. Just stay on this this nice lead that he actually has. If he can hold this lead, he's gonna win the game, because his production is better than LongShot's. LongShot needs really efficient trades and really efficient engagements to be able to come back in this game. Again, we see LongShot getting pushed back, and his third is gonna get denied again. Every time that happens, it puts him back further and further, and it's getting harder and harder to actually come back. We do see a few Ultralisks in production though, but I feel like with the nice supply lead that Theedthree has, I think he just started a bunch of production there. Yeah, with the nice supply lead, I don't think the Ultras matter, because the economy that Theedthree has will just end up being so overwhelming that even if he loses a trade, he can just build so many units that he can push LongShot back anyway. We do see Ultras with only 3 armor. No attack upgrades either. So, I don't know. I don't think it will end up working. We do see Ultras and Zerglings being produced against Hydra Roach. It could be a really efficient combination. You could run your Zerglings around and lock down the Roach Hydra army and let your Ultralisks come in and just do their insane damage. But this is not enough. You can't have 3 Ultralisks and like 16 Zerglings, because this starter step micro will just end up being too much. Focus firing those Ultralisks really nice, and just keeping on top of the supply. He's so far ahead in supply, and he hasn't made any drones, which I really, really like. He's just keeping the lead that he has and making so much of it. He realizes that, oh, I don't need any more drones because I have the drone lead, I have the economy lead, now I can just put pressure on my opponent. And with equal upgrades, I don't feel like LongShot has any way out of this. Getting mined out in his NATL as well, and with no real answer to this army here, there's just nothing he can do as Theedthree starts to push up into the spine crawlers here. Theedthree is taking a 4th, and LongShot actually takes the top left position as his 3rd. I think that, and there's the GG actually. I think actually if LongShot tried this earlier and got this base up with maybe a few spine crawlers to prevent those kind of Ling run by action, and he actually got up with a similar economy to Theedthree, I think that the Ultralisks would definitely come out on top versus Theedthree, who has no actual hive tech except for the 3-3 on ranged. So really nice game, guys. I don't really have that much to point out, just that Theedthree, maybe some additional you know, solution for the late game, Ultras, Broodlords, whatever. I feel like the lack of hive tech or infestors, something like that, makes me a little bit sad. Otherwise, really well played. LongShot, I think you had a really, really good early game, and the nice contain here was a really, really nice move, and then taking a 3rd behind it. Unfortunately, LongShot's 3rd got denied so many times, and I think that's the major reason why he lost the game. and that's really unfortunate. I feel like adding a few infestors into the roach mix before going Ultralisk would be really strong here. Just get a few fungals off, maybe a few infested Terrans as well, but just try to be super cost effective, and then just go in Ultralisks. With the really good upgrades that LongShot had, I feel like that would be a really strong late game for him, with a few infestors, Ultralisks, and Zerglings, maybe with a few roaches and hydras and stuff like that. But just with a few more or a few infestors, I feel like LongShot could have set up this perfectly for the late game. That was the last game for I think it's Reaper versus Valkyrie. I'm not really sure. Thanks for actually sending these replays to me, and it's been a pleasure casting them. I hope I have improved my casting abilities to your liking, and I hope that I have pointed out some things that someone could learn from in the future. I do hope I get to cast a few more games for eXe and or anyone else in the future as well. Thank you. This is Kiv, and I'm gonna be seeing you next time.